Let's talk about the PRO framework and what the PRO framework has to do with your mother. So, getting back to the framework that you might know from another video, we're talking about the person, the role, and the organization. And like we've seen last time, the role is connecting the person with the organization. So the role is the link of the individual to the larger system. So let's talk about the question what this system has to do with the relationship to your mother in early childhood. So as a child, you have developed a relationship with your mother. And this relationship, very briefly spoken in a nutshell, can be secure or insecure. There are a couple of them in between, but we're not going to discuss them here. So this is basically the attachment form that you have created. At one point in the development of the child detaches from the mother and attaches to another object, a so-called transitional object. And a transitional object can be, for example, a teddy bear. So the child is carrying the teddy with it all the time. And if you lose it, it's a huge discussion. So always remember to keep the teddy at your side. When you develop further, you create the attachment to another object, to another transitional object. And that might be a partner, or it might be your boss, someone who you really like and who you really attach to. And at one point in your career, it might be that you create an attachment to a transitional object that is your role. So that is the idea and the development that you go through. Now, very often in organizational transformation situations, we have the issue that the organization is being redesigned. And being redesigned very often means to change roles or even to get rid of certain roles. Something that is quite popular at the moment is to reduce hierarchy. Reducing hierarchy also means reducing roles. But if we do that, that leads to a very, very dangerous side effect. Because if we cut the link between the organization and the role, we also cut the link, or let's do it this way. That's much nicer. So we cut the link between the organization and the role, but at the same time we are cutting the link between the person and the organization. So the person is free floating in the organization when it has lost its role. And if we do that, and if we consider the person is just a grown-up child, and you cut the link from the person to the role, you can also say that you're going to cut the link between the person and the mother. So, harshly speaking, if I'm taking away the role from someone, I'm taking away the mother at the same time. And this leads to several forms of behavior that are developed during this attachment phase. And you basically see the person reacting like the child might have reacted when the mother would have left the room. The idea behind that is the strange situation. And if we are creating such a strange situation in the organization, that leads to a lot of trouble within the individual person. So how can we solve that? And the idea is that if we take away one role, if we redefine one role, we have to create a new role that is appropriate in the new organizational form. So we are creating a new role to link it to the organization, and what we now have to do is to link that back to the individual who has lost the former role. And then after creating the new role, the last thing that is very, very important is to create role alignment. That's what we have seen in another video as well. The role is given and the role is taken. And in the best case, we have a huge overlap between the given and the taken role. So the one thing that you want to create is role alignment. And by doing that, you are creating a role person fit. And that's the idea behind role consultation and the concept of person, role, and organization.